All right, it wouldn't be a Bert Show, a daily Bert Show, if we weren't talking about cheating at least once. So what's going on in your life you want to share with us here? Because in this case, she's not really sure if this is cheating or not. So hit us up at thebertshow.com. Kristen's got the email.
Am I cheating? My heart says I'm not, but my head sometimes thinks I am. My husband and I got married 4 years ago. We've been together for 8. A couple of months ago, I went out with some girlfriends. They were all getting hit on. Not once did anyone approach me. Of course, that's fine because I'm a happily married woman. But you can't help but have your feelings a little hurt when all your friends are getting attention except you. I ended up talking to the bartender a majority of the night. When I checked my Facebook page the next day, I saw I had a message from him. For the last few months, we've been having conversations. Not of a sexual nature, but we have shared intimate and personal details about each other's lives. He's really easy to talk to. We've never exchanged photos or said anything I would consider inappropriate. I know my husband looks at sexy pictures of women on social media. He also has friends who are women. People can have friends of the opposite sex, right? Should I be concerned that this bartender tracked me down on Facebook? We did have a really nice conversation at the bar, and it's been even nicer to continue it on Facebook. Again, in my heart, I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. But the longer this continues, the more my head starts to wonder if what I'm doing is out of line.
Okay, you know how I keep saying that when people get caught, when they get cheating, they're like, oh, I just made a mistake. And I always say, no, what you did was you made a series of really bad choices, right? And the overall scheme of things, it's a mistake. But here you are, okay? You're in the beginning stages right now of infidelity. So you could stop this right now. And are you cheating? No, not physically. Mentally, yes. But we have started shared intimate and personal details about each other's lives. There it is right there. That's the betrayal. And that's where it starts right there. So you could stop it, but now you're looking forward to his messages on Facebook. So that's where your head is and that's where your heart is. You're already making a series of bad choices.
I think it can be considered cheating, and it's not necessarily for what she's doing, but I always get hit up for this. But I personally believe anything that you do in a relationship that you are hiding from your significant other out of fear that they will retaliate or leave you is cheating. And if you didn't feel like you were doing anything wrong, you'd be able to tell them. But you're not telling them for a reason. So for that reason, I would consider it cheating.
Yeah, there's no scenario where this ends well. And I only say that because this specifically started in a moment where you were feeling insecure about your attractiveness. So this entire relationship is built on the foundation of you needing some kind of void filled. And this guy is basically filling that for you with all this attention. I feel like this is a little shady. I think you need to nip it in the bud because if you keep going down this road, you know exactly where this is going to lead to.
Yeah, an affair has to have a starting place.
Yeah.
Right? And this is it.
Here's the litmus test I would do, because I do think that women and men can be friends, and I do think you can make friends with the opposite sex when you're in a relationship. That's my personal opinion, but...
If one of them is ugly.
No, even if both are attractive and you know your boundaries and you're secure in your marriage.
Oh, no.
Well, some people have the ability. But here's my thing. Here's the litmus test. If this were a female bartender and you're not attracted to women, like you're straight... Would you be as excited to get those messages? Would you be having the same feelings? And if the answer is no, then there's something wrong. And I think that's what's pinging, because making a friend and talking about your life, as long as you're not betraying confidences about your spouse, I think that's okay. But
is it when you're sharing, she says, intimate and personal details about each other's lives. So as soon as you start doing that about your significant other to somebody else, isn't that the line?
Well, it's not. She's not saying it's about the significant other. She's just saying I'm sharing intimate and personal details about my life.
Can't we kind of assume that?
If you want to, but that's assuming.
Okay. Well, and that's what I'm saying. I think that is betrayal of sorts. Like, you wouldn't meet a new girlfriend and immediately gush about all the problems you and your husband are having. So if you wouldn't do this with a new female friend or whatever sex you're not attracted to, a new friend of that sex, then you're doing something off, and I think it's not too late to course correct, but you really got to check yourself. And if you're using this dude to fill the void, like Abby said, then you need to work on your marriage and make your husband fill the void.
I do think you are absolutely well within your right to have deep and meaningful conversations with other people besides your significant other, right? But if those deep and meaningful conversations are only happening with other people and not your significant other, then that's where the problem lies.
Yeah, this feels like a tricky line to me because I have gone over the line before accidentally. But like me having conversations with you, Kristen, somebody I've known for 12 years about what's going on in my life, if I'm coming to you for advice, that feels appropriate to me.
Yes.
But I think you have to define who you're sharing that info with.
A bartender you just met a couple months ago?
That's a problem.
Right.
The Bert Show.
Hey, did you like what you just watched? Good news, there's more of us. If you go to wherever you listen to your podcast, whether that's Apple or Google Play or Spotify, you can listen to The Bert Show wherever you are, whenever you want to.